Welcome to Far East Wargaming, bringing you a Heresy Friday. Yes, we released our Heresy Thursday yesterday, and we said we didn't expect much to come out, but GW went and surprised us and contradicted our opinions. So, I'm Richard, your host, and again, joining me is Jason.
Yeah, once again, hello everybody. I would love to say that we have enough power and listeners at GW that they played a trick on us and released this basically an hour after we did our Heresy Thursday release. But no, we don't have that kind of power. But I'm glad to talk about this model because I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and so what we are talking about is the latest announcement from Games Workshop, and they have released a special console for the Iron Warriors, the Warsmith. And we talked about this yesterday on our podcast, that we think they're crushing it with the miniature releases for the individual models, and I think they've hit this out of the park. It's not perfect, but honestly, I love 90% of what is going on here. I have a few qualms with it, but honestly, they're not be all and end alls.
Yeah, Iron Warriors players rejoice. After years and years of suffering, you finally get a dedicated character model, and I have to agree, it's also really, really nice. I mean, just to jump right into it, what do I love about this? I love the fact that the armor looks really brutal. So that kind of it works well with the Iron Warriors aesthetic and lore. I love the paturges on the shoulder and the loincloth area with the reinforced metal plates. I like the bonding studs on different places. The servo arm is a very unique design in terms of the way the jaws look, so that looks amazing. The helmeted head, fantastic. I like this better than actually the regular Iron Warriors heads, and if I could get dozens and dozens of these and throw them all over most of my Iron Warriors models. Yeah, just so much here to like. As far as what I don't like the bear head. The skull cap, although I understand kind of the thinking on it, the skull cap just reminds me too much of Grey Knights. So I don't really like that particular aesthetic, and I don't really like that porno mustache that he's sporting either. But to each their own. I mean, the helmeted head is so good, in my opinion, that I wouldn't use that bear head anyhow. The hammer. I mean, let's talk about the hammer. I get it. It's an Iron Warrior specific graviton crusher. I don't remember the exact word.
Yeah, graviton crusher.
Used for graviton crusher. I don't like this thing. It looks like a rocket powered hammer. It's really big, like half his body size big, and if you're packing your combi grab in your other hand, I mean, how the heck are you ever going to swing this thing? Although the Warhammer World exclusive model is two-handed with the hammer, it's just too big in my opinion. The design itself doesn't really bother me. I mean, it kind of fits the aesthetic, but it's just big and 240K-ish in my opinion. So that part I don't like. Yeah, and then as far as I always talk about when it comes to conversion potential, I think this thing is just oozing it. The only overt Iron Warriors iconography is the belt buckle. So you don't really see anything on the shoulder pads. I'm not really seeing anything on the arms, but of course we can't get the full angle. This is going to make a fantastic base for other Iron Warriors characters, Iron Hands characters, World Eaters characters. Like, there's just so many of them, and this model can actually probably make a base for, and I'm really excited about the potential of that as well. So yeah, I gotta agree, it's another great release from Gdubs. Props. But I'm not really excited about the hammer, but that's just me.
I'm on the other side, to be honest. I really do like the hammer. It's just so out there and over the top that it is appealing to me. It is actually a terrible weapon to use because it's a replacement for the Thunderhammer, but it's only +2 strength AP2 and gives you haywire, as well as all the downsides of unwieldy. So it's actually not a choice weapon, and I think we talked about it in our review of the Iron Warriors there, that it wasn't the choice weapon per se. But it's just over the top, and I think there's something about the over the top aspect that I find quite appealing. But it's not also going to be that hard to snap it off at the joint there and replace it with a different type of head, a more classical Thunderhammer head and things like this. I'm a big fan of the servo arm because honestly, I'm a big fan of the convertibility of what a servo arm allows you to do. It allows you, even though a servo arm isn't as big as a machinator array, I don't think anybody would fight you saying that the servo arm here can be played as a machinator array. So it opens up like I think it is the Forge Lord, which comes with a machinator array, or does he come with a servo? He comes with a machinator array, and the Legion Mortificator, who comes with the servo arm there. So it's convertibility for those type of models. And as far as what you have to remove, I think we saw, if you looked at the Forgeworld exclusive model, which I want to talk about as well, the arm actually has a 4th Legion little number 4 on the arm guard there, which you'd have to shave down. But so easy to do so easy to do so on this type of model, especially because of the resin we're using nowadays. I like it a lot. The qualm I have, to be honest, is I wish they had given us a few more angles, because the gun is new, and the gun from this angle looks extremely bulky, and I'm not sure what shield is dangling off the end of this combi grav. And combi grav is a new weapon. We've not had combi grav. I think combi grav is a 40k weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Bringing it in here, be interesting to see. We've had graviton pistols, graviton shredders, and things like this for the iron hands. Having this as a dedicated graviton gun. And don't forget, grav weapons tend to be heavy weapons, and so the shredders made them assault, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is definitely a new weapon. We don't have combi gravs to date, and the article itself actually says that towards the bottom that they're going to be, or maybe not even at the bottom, but there's one part of the article which talks about the fact that there's going to be rules released for this. Yeah, it would be nice to get a good look at the angle of that particular weapon, just to see how bulky. And I agree with you; it's hard to tell from that picture of the one-handed hammer guy what that is actually dangling off of it. Machinator array, if you did want to use this as a machinator array and your meta or your events are pure WYSIWYG, you do have to figure out a way to add a flamer and a plasma gun to that machinator array because it is built into the rules. But no, I agree with you, man. I mean, this is a great model, tons of conversion potential. Iron Warriors finally get something to cheer about, new weapons. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think only one point that I want to bring up. There's already internet rumors and chatter and different things going around, and I will protect my source, but I do have a source that is actually very reliable. There's a lot of rumors that 3.0, your weapon loadouts for many of your HQ console choices are going to be predefined and not changeable. Ooh. Which, in my opinion, would suck. Totally sucks and will invalidate most of your HQ models today. Hopefully, because this thing is getting its own rules update and it now has a unique weapon, hopefully that is not a sign that this rumor is coming to fruition, okay? Because me personally, I'd be extremely pissed off because I've put in literally days and weeks of converting different consoles to have different weapon options, magnetizing where you can, but you can't magnetize everything. So just know that that rumor is out there. So it'll be also interesting to see how the rules are released for this. Are they going to release it as Iron Warriors Warsmith rule, or is it going to be released as, rule upgrade for combi grav? Like, we don't know that yet. So that's probably my only other little watch out and maybe a little minor complaint. And I'm praying that the rumor is wrong. But yeah, I mean, model itself, love everything. Don't like the hammer, just me. Conversion potential, blah, blah, blah. Another good one. Well done, GW. Props for all of that.
Yep, that's news to me about the unique weapons or the specific weapons, and you're right, I think that would suck. Getting rid of convertibility in the hobby is just a direction I don't want to see the hobby go, because so many unique things come out of our own creation and imagination when we're given the freedom to do so. And there's a lot of skilled sculptors. There's some very actually simple conversions that are doable. And it's actually very fun for a beginner who wants to start to find a really simple pistol swap, gun swap here, and to feel a sense of accomplishment for having built something new that nobody else has or nobody in his community has there. And so if we got rid of that, I'd be very, very sad. For me, the last little thing I want to talk about is the actual Warhammer World exclusive model. Because to me, that to me is the nicer model, even for convertibility as well. Because the weapon is on the side there, removing it to swap out the weapon I think would be a lot easier than doing it with the original released model. And I'm never a big fan of Warhammer World only models. One, because you can only get them for visiting. And two, I've heard from people who visited, because I've not had the luxury of visiting Warhammer World, that most of the time when you go there, they're not available because they're sold out. So it's kind of a hit and miss. You make all that trip all the way, and then the Warhammer World exclusive model is actually not available because so many people have bought it when they're there. So I think they should make this available to everybody in the two different options, at least for a period of time, an exclusive period of time, because I would love to get my hands on the more aggressive double-handed posed one, just because I think you can convert that a lot easier into a Warsmith, a Forge Lord or a Mortificator than you could the other one there. So yes, hit and miss. Great sculpting, loving the design, loving the fact that this is an Iron Warriors specific unit and they're getting some love there. But nothing's perfect with GW, and that rumor you just mentioned scares me a lot because it sounds something very GW-like.
Yeah. Just to come back a little bit to the comments you just made, the Warhammer, I've been fortunate enough, mostly because of business trips to the UK, to actually be able to go to Warhammer World 3 times. And then because I'm from Texas, I've been able to visit the Citadel in Texas many times as well. And you're right. Sometimes it's just these exclusive miniatures are not available, and that does suck, because I've wanted to pick up things like the Cataphracti Trader Librarian model, for example, and it's never in stock. Every single time I've gone there, it's never been in stock. So I guess it's just my bad luck. But when you combine the visits to Warhammer World and the visits to the Citadel, that's really bad luck, because it's probably 10 plus times that I've been unable to get that model. So I do agree with you. It would be cool if we'd be able to get our hands on this, or at least GW releases enough of them to have a steady supply. Yeah, I do like the pose on the exclusive model. I'll slightly disagree on the convertibility, because we don't know how that combi grav is attached at the hip. Is it like, is there a hole in a pin system like they sometimes do this? Is it a flat area on that leg that it attaches to? Like, we just don't know. So yeah, you may be able to convert the weapon itself a lot easier, and maybe the model a little bit easier, but that you might be stuck with the combi grav. We just don't know. We won't know until we see the bits. It's all just, hypothesis at this point. But yeah, great model. I can see myself probably buying 2 of these. And I don't have an Iron Warriors force in construction yet, but I would probably buy one of these for that eventuality. But I'd probably also buy one of these for my Iron Hands, because I think it's going to make a sweet base for some Iron Hands models. So yeah, no further comments from me. Well done, Gdubs.
Yeah. And again, on the positive side, they've hinted that you can come back next Thursday for another dose of big scale heresy. So we will most likely be back with a Heresy Thursday next week at a slightly later time than we normally release it, just to be able to encompass what is going to be coming out here. So we'll do a Heresy Thursday plus a few hours for us here. But we wanted to make sure we got this in because it was big news, and we love the model in general, so we wanted to get our opinion out there. And let us know what you guys think in the comments, whether you love or hate this massive weapon that he's wielding, whether you love the Iron Warriors or you'd wish they'd release something for your Legion. Let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to reply.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep them coming. As always, we love that. We love interacting with you, and appreciate the patience as we had a little hiatus as well over the last couple of weeks. But we promise you that next week you'll also see another Bat Rep coming up, which we're going to be filming this weekend, and happy to do so. But thanks for those that have listened this far along, and we will catch you on the next one.